Chapter 14. Though this be madness, yet there is method in it. Mimi, what happened to you? What's that white stuff all over your face? Troy didn't wait for my response. He turned and pointed a finger at Benvolio. What's she doing here? You got no right bringing her here. Look, my label will pay whatever ransom you want. Just let her go. He thought we had been kidnapped. Troy, I said. He hobbled forward, grimacing with each step, and roughly took my arm. Don't say a word, Mimi, he whispered. These guys are nut jobs. Look at them. These guys are Renaissance Fair nerds, and that guy pretending to be the friar says it's 1594. They stabbed me in the leg. There's no telling what else they're capable of. So let me handle this. He was using that parental voice I knew so well. Fine, go ahead and make a fool of yourself. My feet were killing me anyway. I sat down on a stool and took off the wooden shoes. How much do you want? Troy repeated. While I do not understand your question, I do understand your tone, sir, and I find it insulting. Benvolio wrapped his fingers slowly and menacingly around his sword's hilt. Romeo pressed his face against the window's glass, still staring into the darkness. Troy raised his hands in a motion of surrender. Okay. Let me try that again. What do you want from me? Gratitude would be appropriate for saving your life. Saving my life? Oh, from the Capulet Guard. Right. Sarcasm oozed from Troy's mouth. Sure, thanks a lot. Troy, we need to talk, I said. If I could get him alone for a few minutes, I could explain everything. I know what's going on. He waved to me to be quiet, as if I were annoying background noise. Look, whatever your name is. Benvolio Montague. Right. Look, Benvolio, why don't we go outside and get a taxi? My label has a New York office. We can go there and get you a money order or something. He smiled, thinking himself clever. Come on, what do you say? Benvolio raised an eyebrow. I am beginning to believe that you are insane. He sat on the windowsill next to Romeo, his long legs swaying like a metronome. Romeo whispered Rosalind's name. I walked barefoot across the plank floor and stood in front of Troy, my back to the others. Remember how I grabbed my necklace from you, and then I opened the door and those ashes flew all over the place? I spoke as quietly as I could. Remember when I said I might go somewhere, and you said maybe I should go to Verona? Troy frowned. Well, that's exactly what happened. They haven't kidnapped us. My Shakespearean charm brought us here. It's magic. Oh, that's very interesting, the friar whispered, having stuck his overgrown ears where it didn't belong. A charm? Pray tell, did I meet you in the square early this morning? Yes, I told him. What are you talking about? Troy demanded. What do you mean you met him? I don't remember any ashes. You don't remember the ashes? How can you not remember the ashes? We choked on them. I am afraid that is a side effect of the herbal tea I fed you, the friar explained, squeezing his rotund self between us. The tea deadened your pain and put you to sleep so I could perform surgery on your thigh. Your memory will be foggy for a short while, but it will return. You drugged me? Troy's eyes widened. Drugged me? Excuse us, I said to the friar, pushing a crazed Troy into the corner. Listen to me. He wasn't ready to listen. That guy's a madman, a sadistic butcher. Did you see my leg? I've got to get to a hospital. He turned and faced our captors. Look, just name your price and let us go. There is no price, my son. Go if that is your wish. Friar Lawrence tilted his head towards the open door, then took another drink from his blue jug. Troy raised his eyebrows. Then he grabbed my hand and started hobbling as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast. Wait, I said, you don't understand. They're not holding us for ransom. Come on, he urged. Mimi? Benvolio called, sliding off the windowsill. I wrenched my hand free of Troy's and stared into eyes hot as espresso. Are you leaving with him? Are you going back to Manhattan? Mimi! Troy yelled, his voice cracked with impatience. Was I going back? I didn't quite know how to answer that question. Back to Reginald Dwill's stupid DVD? Back to vomiting on stage? Back to the Theater Institute with its 100% acting classes? Back to tutors and cardboard food and identifying with a cat who spent its days and nights pressed against a window yearning? Benvolio looked like he was yearning. For me. He took both my hands and pressed them to his chest, right above his heart. Corny, I know, but the gesture made my legs feel weak. Will you leave so soon? He asked softly. Mimi! Troy stood in the doorway. Benvolio gently kissed the cut on my hand. It had stopped bleeding. What would it be like to kiss a man from the 16th century? Not the closed-mouthed kiss that Troy and I knew so well, but the kind of kiss I longed for. A kiss that would make your eyeballs roll backward. A kiss that doesn't leave room for breathing. Would Benvolio nibble on my lower lip? Would his tongue taste like the contents of the blue jug? At that moment I forgot all about Lady Capulet's threat. I don't want to go back. I want to stay with you and become Mrs. Montague. I want to go to parties and sleep next to your naked body and never have to act again. Mimi! Are you insane? Move it! Benvolio dropped my hands and moved swiftly to the door. Do not speak to her in that manner. He slammed his fist into Troy's jaw. Troy tumbled into the hallway. Stop it! I cried, snapping out of my lovesick trance. Benvolio stepped aside as I helped Troy to his feet. I need to talk to him, I told Benvolio. I'll be right back. Take a light, my child. The friar handed me a candle. And wear your shoes. There are rat droppings about. I slipped back into the shoes. Holding the candle, I led Troy down the winding stairs. He rambled the entire way, stringing sentences together as if he had too much coffee. Have you lost your freaking mind playing along with them? Did they drug you too? Can you believe those costumes? They must have dressed like characters from our play so they could sneak backstage. They must have gassed us or something. I don't know. I wish I could remember. What kind of twisted pervert comes up with a scheme like this? That fat guy stuck leeches on me. Leeches! We'll get a taxi, then call the police. We reached the bottom step and started past the altar. And what's up with you letting that creep touch you? You aren't one of those girls who sympathizes with her kidnappers, are you? Because they stabbed me, Mimi. Stabbed me. And I guarantee you he'd like to stab you as well. But not with a sword, if you get my drift. I wasn't going to argue with him. He wouldn't believe a word until he saw the city with his own eyes. After all, look how long it took me to figure things out, and I have more than half a brain. I pushed open the church's heavy wooden door, and we stepped into darkness. Darn it! It was too dark to see anything. The moon had disappeared behind heavy clouds. Smells like sewage, Troy said with disgust as he limped down the church stairs. What part of New York is this? There must be a treatment plant around here. I couldn't see more than a few yards ahead. I didn't bother to answer Troy because he wasn't ready to believe, and until the effects of the herbal tea wore off, he wouldn't remember anything about the broken charm or the ashes. Why aren't there any streetlights? I can't see a single street sign. How is a taxi supposed to see us without streetlights? He grabbed the candle from my hand. Still can't see anything. He held it at knee level. Some kind of dirt road. They must have driven us outside the city. I didn't like the idea of wandering these streets at night. If the Capulet guards came along, I'd be in big trouble. Troy, let's just go back inside and wait until the sun rises. Look, you obviously don't understand the severity of this situation. He held the candle at arm's length and started down the road. This isn't a game, Mimi. This isn't a moment of insanity or a dream. Those freaks back there are capable of a lot more than stabbing me in the leg, so start looking around for a phone or something. I can't stay out here, Troy. Why not? He stopped walking, and even though I couldn't see his face clearly, I could see his eyes burn through me. You want to go back to Loverboy? He stepped closer. He'll hurt you, Mimi. Get that through your thick head. He'll hurt you. He started up the street again, the candle's flame bouncing with every hobbling step. The gas they used to knock us out is still clouding your brain. Come on. I can't. I have to go back. It's safer for me back at the church. Fine, go back. The candlelight grew smaller and smaller, then disappeared around the side of a building, leaving me alone. Something scurried across my shoe. Lady Capulet had mentioned a plague. Didn't rats spread plague? Getting stabbed in the leg or slapped in the face had to be like a Disney cruise compared to a case of bubonic plague. I stumbled in Troy's direction. He had stopped walking, so I bumped right into him. Dawn's rays started to trickle into the city. As Troy and I watched, light spread across the windows, curled around sleeping pigs, and seeped around steaming manure piles. Like a well-rehearsed play, nature's alarm clock woke the city. Windows opened, and hands tossed garbage and pots of urine into the gutters. Doors opened, and storekeepers began to set up shop. Troy's mouth opened, and standing speechless, he looked like the village idiot. I shivered, remembering the rat, and shook my foot in case any bubonic germs clung to it. "Where are we?" he asked. "I'll tell you, but you have to promise not to say anything until I've finished."